Hi everybody, it's Adam here at Sublimation Supplies, and what we're going to do in this little tutorial video is we are going to press a little ceramic rectangular fridge magnet. So there's a few things you'll need. You'll need your sublimation printer, so we're going to use the F100 in this video, which will produce your sublimation transfer. So this is a little print here. Then you'll need the blank itself, so this is just a square of ceramic, as you can see, and that comes in the pack with a little magnetic strip which we'll apply later once the blank has cooled. Yeah, you'll also need a heat press, which we'll go through the settings of in a moment when we get to that point. So the first thing you're going to need to do once you've gathered all that together is you're going to want to tape your blank to your transfer. So if you come over here, I'll get a down angle going and we will show you how that works. Right, with the blank and the transfer on the bench, what we need to do now is obviously tape this blank to the transfer. What that's going to do is it's going to stop it moving, it's going to make sure you get a nice sharp print while it's in the press. So as always, what I've done is printed the outline of the blank slightly larger than the blank itself. So I don't know whether you can see that on the camera, but if I put that in the middle, you'll see that that outer bounding box is bigger than the blank itself. And what that does is that gives me a visual reference to make sure that our designs are nice and square. Once you're happy with the position of it, we're just going to pop some heat tape on. What that'll do is that'll stop the blank moving while it's in the press and make sure we get a nice sharp result. So there you go. Now with the ceramics, I do tend to put a little bit more tape on than with other stuff just because they are a little bit heavier. And when you're moving them over to the press, they can slip. But if you tape all four sides, that's going to lock that in place on that blank. Okay, great. So we've got the transfer tape to the blank, and for these magnets, what we're going to do is you're going to run the press at about 180 for 180. So we're going to set that up now. So I'll just pull that down there. Check the temperature. So that's currently at 185. So we're going to drop that to 180, and then I'm going to set my time to 180 seconds. It will get there eventually. There we go. 180 seconds, and that's good to go. So that's now going to heat up, and then we can get the blank into the press. Right, so our press is nice and hot now, so we're going to get this blank in there. So what you're going to want to do is pop your blank right in the middle of the heat pattern. In the middle of the heat pattern, you're going to get the most reliable pressure and you're going to get the most reliable temperature. And that doesn't really matter what press that you're doing. If you're only doing one blank, pop it in the middle. It's especially important on these little hobby presses as they can occasionally cool down towards the edges. So what you then want to do is going to put a bit of baking paper on top as a release liner. That's just going to protect your heat platen from any ink that comes back through the sublimation paper. And then we're just going to close the press down. So we're going with quite a light pressure on these blanks. With the ceramics, if you go too heavy, they are prone to cracking. Changed. Okay, so this is about done. We're just going to wait for it to beep. Once it beeps, we're going to lift the platen. We're going to try and be nice and gentle when we lift it, just to make sure that sub print doesn't bounce. Take the release liner off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my heat gloves on for this one, because these ceramics get extremely hot when they're in the press and they hold their heat for a long time. So I'm just going to see if I can get my finger underneath. We're just going to lift off the transfer tape there like that. Okay. So there's the printed blank. Looks great. We're going to get it down there and we're going to have a quick close-up look at it. Alright guys, so that is it for the little rectangular ceramic magnets. Like you can see there, I have put the magnetic strip on the back. Just peel the release liner and pop it on, but make sure you let your blank go cold, otherwise what you're going to end up with is a melted magnet. It's really easy to do, even on a simple setup like I've got in front of me, sort of a hobbyist sort of grade setup. All of the stuff that we've used in this video can be found on our website, and there'll be links to the various bits in the description below. So I hope you find that tutorial useful. There's going to be a lot more coming out on the channel because we want to help you guys get the most out of the blanks that we provide.